Hello, welcome to Fair Lady of the Lock Tarot. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be doing a pick a card reading on the Four of Cups, and so we will read from Tarot and Other Divination Arts by Alice Eckrick and Michael Johnston to introduce the card. The Four of Cups represents dissatisfaction, boredom, discontent, depression, crisis, reevaluation, and self-questioning. In the image on the Four of Cups card, a young man ignores the three cups he already has and the one being offered to him. For some reason, you feel unhappy and discontented with your lot. You are in danger of developing a careless attitude towards life and becoming apathetic. You are entering a period of personal crisis and questioning, and you have temporarily lost your connection with loved ones. You may feel that something is lost or missing from your life. The card indicates that you don't realize how fortunate you are. You need to take time to reevaluate your life and decide what is really important to you. Okay? And that is their interpretation of this card. If I might be so bold as to go further, for me, the Four of Cups not only represents emotional dissatisfaction, okay, but it also can represent depression and anxiety, emotional imbalance, but it also can represent someone who is seeking it. So, for example, my Four of Cups in the Universal Celtic Tarot very clearly shows someone who is seeking that emotional balance, right? That internal balanced state, okay? So go with your intuition depending on what deck that you are using. Some decks, it'll represent something like go within and meditate to find your emotional balance, right? Other decks will state things like this Everyday Witch Tarot, where clearly someone is suffering from depression, anxiety, dissatisfaction, boredom, anger, which does represent what we saw in this book. But it can also represent things like not having peace within a marriage or a household, right? Where your emotional state is affecting the household and those around you. It can also, like as in this steampunk deck, with you see the skull and everything here in the background, it doesn't always necessarily just deal with emotional difficulties from this life, but can sometimes also deal with issues from our past lives that have come through to affect this one. Okay, so there's a wide diversity within the Four of Cups that can be tapped into. And with the writer, I always see a message here that talks about the gift, right? The gift being given, okay? Sometimes we feel undeserving. Sometimes we are so emotionally inaccurate of our perceptions of ourselves that we don't feel worthy of a gift, or we're so wrapped up in what's going on in our internal space that we do not see the beautiful gifts around us, right? We do not see these opportunities that the divine is bringing to us. So when it comes to the Four of Cups, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, okay? It can be the seeking of emotional balance. It can be there just needs to be a slight perspective change to see the gift or the gifts, okay? So we are going to tap into all of those energies when it comes to the Four of Cups, okay? And we are going to be asking the questions of what do I need to adjust within myself to find emotional balance, okay? What practices can I adopt to find that emotional balance? And what might be the cause or triggers of this emotional imbalance that I need to get to the root core of, and face it, right? And then lastly, we are going to also leave it open to what gifts is my emotional imbalance or my current situation not allowing me to see. What is it that I need to see? Okay, what is the universe trying to give me? All right, and this all really coincides with the time in which we are doing this. Today that I'm doing this is September the 9th of 2025, which is referred to by many within the esoteric community as the 999 portal, right? Ninth month, ninth day, and then you add the 2, and the 5 to make the 9. This can be particularly apropos for those who have a life path number of 9. Honestly, any variable of 3 in that regard. It also can be particularly potent during times such as now, where we have been going through the full moon, here at the beginning of September, which was a blood moon, an eclipse, a super moon. I mean, it's just really jam-packed full of energy, and I'm sure many of you have felt it or even seen things which are just like, did I just see what I think I saw? That sort of thing. The energy is just all around us. And so let's tap into that. Let's utilize that energy for our best and highest good, so that we can bring in that beautiful, prosperous abundance that we wish to have in our lives, whether that's material or emotional or spiritual, right? And to just let go and release anything that might be holding us back as we step into this new portal, this new era that they're referring to. Okay, all right. Pick as many piles as you want. Okay, because there may be that many things that need to be worked on, or that many pieces of advice on how to move forward. So follow your gut, follow your intuition, and I'll see you in your piles. Bye.